After how many days, though, do you think, oh, this outfit's doing my head in now? It's so hot, it's taking too long to put on.
Oh, so quickly. It's more like the commuting to and from, or like if you're filming in the middle of a field and you have, 5 layers on and you've got to go and use a portaloo. That's when you're like, oh, this isn't that great.
Jodie, how you doing?
I'm good, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing really good. You've had a good year, haven't you?
Yeah, it's not been bad. It's been full on, but no, I'm really, really grateful to be back working, and be working on projects that I'm really proud of. So it's been good.
Now, genuinely, I first fell in love with your work in 13. Absolutely loved it. Probably my favourite series of all time, actually. I watched it just back to back. My little sister recommended me. And at that time, I was watching it with my wife, and we said, like, obviously, just sheer talent. Did you ever believe, Jodie, I know you become immune to it. I think people of your stature become immune to it after a while and understand that it's just your everyday life now. But did you ever, looking back, did you ever think that you'd be in this position now? I mean, Free Guy, we had Ryan Reynolds on the show the other week. So you've done that with him this year. Now you're with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Did you, a girl from Liverpool, did you imagine this could happen?
No. And yes, in a sense of like, I was never fearful of it. Like I was never intimidated by feeling like I couldn't work hard and do this as a profession. But in regards to like the roles that I'm playing and the people I'm working alongside, like that is unbelievable. Like I had a couple of years back, I was cleaning out my room and I'd found my first headshot that I got taken when I was 13. And I had a little moment where I was like, oh my God, if I could tell, well, she's inside me, so she knows, but I was like, if only she knew, if only she knew what was to come. So yeah, I feel very, very lucky. I
mean, you're incredible at what you do. Obviously, I've seen this movie. It's insane. It's very intense. It's obviously medieval times, so it's period. How did you find being in something like that?
It was gorgeous. I mean, again, going back, I remember when I first met my agent in London, and I remember being in her office and she was like, so what do you want to do then? And I was like, I pretty much said that I wanted to be Keira Knightley. I said I really want to do period films. And then, doing the Last Duel last year and having that moment of being like, wow, I'm working with Ridley Scott and then realizing what the piece was. And it's always like such a transformative experience when you work on something like that, because you immediately put those costumes on and you step in those locations or those studios and you're immediately within a different world. So that really helps you, in regards to the work that you have to do.
After how many days, though, do you think, oh, this outfit's doing my head in now? It's so hot, it's taking too long to put on.
Oh, so quickly. It's more like the commuting to and from, or like if you're filming in the middle of a field and you have, 5 layers on and you've got to go and use a portaloo. That's when you're like, oh, this isn't that great. But other than that, it's wonderful.
Jodie, one thing I love most about this chat, I mean, I've been very excited to do this interview, but I just love the fact that Scouse accent is still there. It's still quite thick. I love it. And then, you're doing American accents, and obviously you're speaking, what do we call it, Queen's English in this?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Like a general.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, what's the hardest accent you've had to adapt to, or did it just all come naturally?
Russian's hard.
Yeah, you've done it all.
I know, but you know what? I have an amazing dialect coach called Zaberja. And what we do is like we'll spend a week. So say, for instance, if Phil and Al's doing a Scottish accent, then for a week we'll just purely do that and muck around on set, and that's the only way we'll speak to each other. And then when we get to the scene, we can really draw it back. So some are easier than others, but you do have to put the work in for sure. For sure.
Well, Jodie, look, just before you go, Pink, the music artist, was on my show, and she did this.
My accent, yeah, it's Friday, isn't it? I'm Mark Wright and I'm on Hot.
Oh my days, that's
pretty good.
Me. So Jodie, this is your challenge on the spot before you go. That's one accent you might not have done. Mine.
That's one accent you might not have done. Mine.
That's good. She's got it straight away. You don't need your dialect coach for that one.
I'm cringing so badly.
You shouldn't be.
I wouldn't do that for anyone. Thank you.
Jodie, your work's exceptional. Keep it up. Honestly, you're amazing.
Thank you, Mark.
See you soon.
Take care. Bye.
This is Heart.